Have you ever noticed that holidays don't feel the same anymore? When you were younger, everything felt exciting, magical, effortless. You didn't think about planning, cooking, cleaning, or organizing anything. You just showed up and enjoyed it.
But now, you might feel like something is missing, or maybe holidays feel quieter, simpler, or even a little stressful. And if you're learning English, it can feel even harder to talk about these feelings naturally.
That's exactly what we're going to help you with today. In this conversation, you'll practice real, natural English while talking about Easter, but not in a formal or cultural way. Instead, we'll focus on something deeper and more useful.
How holidays change as we grow up, how to talk about memories and nostalgia, how to describe simple, meaningful moments in your life.
By the end of this conversation, you'll feel more confident expressing your thoughts in English, not just about holidays, but about life in general.
That's right. This is the kind of English you actually use in real conversations with friends, coworkers, or even casual chats. And don't worry, we'll keep everything clear, natural, and easy to follow.
Before we begin, if you enjoy learning English through real conversations like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the English Talk channel.
Your support helps us create more lessons just like this for learners around the world.
All right, let's get into today's conversation. So, Leo, can I ask you something?
Of course, what's on your mind?
Do you feel like holidays, like Easter, feel different now compared to when you were younger?
Yeah, actually, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. They definitely feel different. Not worse, just different.
I understand. In what way?
Well, when I was a kid, holidays felt exciting without any effort. Everything was already prepared. There were decorations, food, family gatherings, and I didn't have to think about any of it.
Right, everything just kind of happened for you.
Exactly. And now, as an adult, I realize how much work goes into creating those moments.
That makes sense. It's like we've moved from enjoying the experience to actually creating it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to say it. We're the ones planning things now.
I feel the same way. When I was younger, I never thought about who cooked the food or who organized everything. I just enjoyed it.
And now you notice everything behind the scenes.
Exactly. And sometimes that can make holidays feel less magical, at least at first.
I agree, but at the same time, I think there's a different kind of meaning now.
Do you have any specific Easter memories from when you were a kid?
Yeah, definitely. I remember waking up early and feeling excited for no specific reason, just because it was a holiday.
That feeling is so hard to describe, but it's very real.
It is, and I remember small things, like looking for chocolate eggs around the house, or sitting at the table with my family for a big lunch.
That sounds really nice.
It was simple, but it felt special. And I think that's the key word, special.
Yeah, I think part of what makes holidays special is the memories we attach to them.
Exactly. It's not just the event itself, it's how we remember it.
And when we're kids, everything feels bigger and more important somehow.
Right. Even small things feel exciting.
Now, when I think about Easter, I don't expect big surprises anymore, but I do appreciate those memories more.
That's a really interesting shift from excitement to appreciation.
So, how do you celebrate Easter now?
Honestly, it's much simpler. I don't do anything big. I usually stay home, maybe cook something nice, and just relax.
That sounds peaceful.
It is. I think now I care more about creating a comfortable atmosphere than having a big celebration.
That makes sense. I feel the same way. I might decorate a little, nothing too elaborate, but just enough to make the space feel different.
I like that. Small changes can make a big difference.
Exactly. Even something like cooking a special meal or buying fresh flowers can change the mood.
Can I ask something?
Of course.
When you say atmosphere, what do you mean exactly?
Good question. Atmosphere means the feeling of a place, the mood or environment.
Ah, got it. So it's not just what you see, but how the place feels.
Exactly. It's about comfort, warmth, and how relaxed you feel.
That makes sense. I like that idea a lot.
You know, something I've been thinking about lately is how my idea of a good holiday has completely changed.
In what way?
Before, I used to think holidays needed to be exciting, busy, social, full of activities. But now, I actually prefer something much calmer.
I understand that. These days, I don't really look for excitement. I look for comfort.
Exactly. Comfort is the perfect word.
What does a cozy holiday look like for you now?
Honestly, it's very simple. I like waking up without rushing, maybe making a nice breakfast, and just enjoying a quiet morning.
That already sounds better than a busy schedule.
Right? And then maybe I'll clean a little, organize my space, or decorate just a bit. Nothing too elaborate, just small touches.
Like what?
Maybe fresh flowers, a candle, or even just changing the way the table looks. Small details that make the space feel intentional.
I like that idea. Intentional again. It keeps coming up.
Because it really matters. When you're intentional, even small things feel meaningful.
That's true. I've noticed that when my space feels organized and calm, I feel more relaxed too.
Exactly. Your environment affects your mood more than you realize.
I used to ignore that, honestly. I thought comfort came from doing something fun outside.
And now?
Now I see that staying home can feel just as good, sometimes even better.
That makes sense. Home becomes more important as we grow up.
Yeah, it's like you start building a space that reflects who you are.
Exactly. And holidays become a chance to enjoy that space.
Do you usually spend holidays alone or with others?
It depends. Sometimes with family, sometimes just by myself. And honestly, I've learned to enjoy both.
That's not always easy.
It's not, but once you get comfortable with it, it feels peaceful instead of lonely.
That's a really important difference. Peaceful versus lonely.
Exactly. And creating a cozy life is really about learning that difference.
Another thing I notice about Easter is that it comes during spring, which always makes me feel like starting fresh.
Yeah, I feel that too. There's something about this time of year that makes you want to reset your life a little.
What does that usually look like for you?
It usually starts with my environment. I feel this strong need to clean, organize, and simplify everything.
Like a deep clean?
Yes, but not just cleaning. It's more like clearing space, both physically and mentally.
That makes sense. When your space is cluttered, your mind feels cluttered too.
Exactly. By the way, cluttered means messy or full of too many things.
Got it. Cluttered. That's a useful word.
Yeah, you'll hear it a lot in everyday English.
So after you organize your space, what comes next?
Then I start thinking about my routine. I ask myself, what do I want to change? What's working and what isn't?
That's a really healthy habit.
I try to keep it simple. I don't make big, unrealistic plans, just small adjustments.
Like what?
Maybe waking up a bit earlier, going for short walks, or spending less time on my phone.
Those small changes can actually have a big impact.
Exactly, and spring makes it easier because everything feels new again.
Yeah, the change in weather really affects your energy.
It does. More light, warmer days, it naturally makes you feel more motivated.
I've noticed that too. During winter, I feel slower, less productive,
Same here. So when spring comes, it feels like a fresh start.
almost like a second new year.
Exactly. That's such a good way to describe it.
Do you ever feel pressure to improve everything during this time?
Sometimes, but I try to avoid that. I focus more on feeling better, not being perfect.
That's an important mindset.
Yeah, because if you try to change everything at once, it becomes overwhelming.
Right. Overwhelming meaning too much to handle.
Exactly.
Do you think holidays need to be big to feel meaningful?
Not at all. Actually, I think the opposite is true now.
How so?
I think as adults, we learn that special moments don't need to be big. They just need to feel intentional.
That's a really important word. Intentional.
Yes, intentional means you do something with purpose, not by accident.
Got it. So even a simple dinner can feel special if you planned it with care.
Exactly. It's about the feeling behind it.
I like that perspective. It takes away the pressure of doing something big.
Right. Life is already busy. Holidays can be a moment to slow down instead of adding more stress.
That's true.
Sometimes people try to make everything perfect, and that actually makes it less enjoyable.
I agree. Simplicity can be more meaningful.
You know, something else I've learned is that meaning doesn't come from big events anymore.
What do you mean?
I used to think that special moments had to be big, like parties or trips.
Yeah, like something memorable in a big way.
Exactly. But now I realize that small moments can feel just as meaningful, sometimes even more.
Can you give an example?
Sure, something as simple as having a quiet meal, sitting by the window, or listening to music.
That sounds really calming.
It is, and those moments feel real. They're not rushed or forced.
I think that's the key. They're natural.
Exactly. There's no pressure for everything to be perfect.
I used to feel like holidays had to be special enough.
Same here, like there's some kind of expectation.
Exactly. And if nothing big happened, it felt disappointing.
But now, I think we define what special means for ourselves.
That's a big shift.
It really is, and it's freeing.
Freeing meaning it gives you a sense of freedom.
Exactly. You're not trying to meet someone else's expectations anymore.
You're just enjoying the moment.
Right. And I think that's why simple rituals become important.
What do you mean by rituals?
Small, repeated actions that have meaning, like cooking the same meal every holiday or taking a quiet walk.
Ah, I see. So not necessarily something formal, just personal habits.
Exactly. Personal traditions.
I like that. It makes life feel more grounded.
Yeah, grounded meaning calm, stable, and connected.
Exactly.
So if you had to describe what Easter means to you now, what would you say?
I'd say it's a reminder to slow down, reset, and appreciate the small things in my life.
That's really thoughtful.
What about you?
For me, it's about balance, taking a break from routine, but also enjoying the life I'm building.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I think that's something we don't always realize. We're building our lives every day, even in small ways.
Exactly. And holidays give us a chance to notice that.
Not in a big or dramatic way, just quietly.
Yes, quietly. I like that. And that brings us to the end of today's conversation. We hope this helped you feel more confident expressing your thoughts and feelings in English.
Remember, you don't need perfect English to communicate well. Just focus on being clear and natural.
Try using some of today's phrases in your own life. Talk about your routines, your memories, or even how your perspective has changed.
That's how real progress happens.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the English Talk channel.
We really appreciate your support.
Thank you for practicing with us today. Keep learning,
Keep speaking.
and we'll see you in the next video.
Take care.